Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Sarina Fazan. I'm a journalist, producer, and host, and we're here for the countdown to the very big game. Thank you so much for joining us for this very special episode. We are taping out of, and we're here live actually out of CP Communications and Red House Streaming. We have some amazing guests with me. We have Pat Michaels right here. He is the spokesperson for OneBlood. We also have Stan Lifsey with the joining us via satellite. We have Rick Arnold with Precision Contracting Services. So, Rick, let's start with you and fiber optics. Explain to us fiber optics and how fiber optics plays such an essential. It's essential for getting this whole game on the road.
Sure, it's obviously going to be a little bit different this year within the stadium because the attendance will be down from normal. But for us, this work started 5 years ago with infrastructure within the city. So new exits for the airport, new exits off of 75 to get to the stadium, upgraded infrastructure for the traffic light signalization, the traffic cameras, the digital signage, parking lighting, and it goes on, and then carries into the stadium to be able to support the 5G and the wireless, and it allows all the broadcast networks to be able to get out to the rest of the world. So at some point, the stuff we do gets touched by almost everything out there now. So it's exciting for me. So. And growing up in Tampa, born and raised, and been to 2 Super Bowls, and I'm excited for this.
I know it's history making. So I want to get back to you. Hold on tight because I want to talk to Pat. Of course, you are a spokesperson for OneBlood, which is so important, and that's why we're running the PSAs for OneBlood during these very special shows. But you were also in broadcast news with me. So Rick was talking about how we have so many media outlets here. We have media outlets from all over the country. The Super Bowl is probably the most watched event, right, Stan? I mean, so the excitement surrounding that. Talk to me about your experiences.
Well, I mean, I was in television for about 28 years in multiple markets, and Tampa is a major market. It's much more larger now even than Orlando and larger than Miami. So this is quite a market to have this here. Then, of course, to have the Bucs in their home stadium is exciting. But what it takes to put that broadcast together is amazing because not only the fiber optics, but the cameras, got robotic cameras in places. I mean, when I started in television, you had guys behind cameras, but now you have cameras, running on wires, and still though the switching mechanism, which is in trucks with people who used to be there on site. Now you don't even have to be on site. You could be in Chicago and switch it. So the technology is amazing to put this game together.
I know it's so much fun, and I want to talk to you about that a little bit more, and Rick. But Stan, so talk to me about your hotel. And I know we are living in unprecedented times with COVID. We don't have the travelers that we want, as Rick mentioned too earlier, to get I mean, they do all the fiber optics for that, right? Like airports and roads. But also, I know it's history making. But we're not getting another team in here as well. So it's not like 2 teams that are traveling.
Right.
Talk to us about the hotel industry and tell us about the current.
Well, I mean, the hotel industry, it's certainly impacted. Nobody's telling anybody nothing that they don't know. But not having 2 teams, yes, it's great that the Bucs are the first team ever to host a Super Bowl in their home stadium. But with the I don't even like saying the word anymore, COVID, the Chiefs aren't even coming here until Friday. So all the events that lead up to Super Bowl, whether Media Day and all the other big media events that are part of Super Bowl and drive so many tourists here to or would drive tourists here to Tampa Bay, it's not going to happen this year, unfortunately. But we're making the best out of it. And I think a lot of the other hotel owners in the market are doing the same. We're sold out. Quite a few other hotels are sold out. So we are seeing a last minute push, not only for more drive traffic, from South Florida or even from places like Atlanta, or because the Bucks have a pretty big fan base. So we're not having nearly the amount of parties that we were scheduled to have. But as I said, as of about 72 hours ago, that's when we got a major push, not only for the room reservations, so we're full again, but also for different events to take place, parties. There's quite a few A-list celebrities that are coming to the Bay Area and attending and hosting parties as well. So, and the current is we opened 2 years ago, and it's on Rocky Point, overlooking the water, and it's very close to the airport, and obviously close to Raymond James Stadium as well. So we've had a lot of interest in hosting parties and
Because you're so centrally located.
Centrally located to as I said, the airport, the stadium, but also the West Shore Business District that has all phenomenal restaurants, and close to where the NFL experience is, along the Riverwalk and through downtown Tampa and ending up at Sparkman Wharf, and we're a 10 to 12 minute drive from there as well. So. We're kind of call it an urban oasis, where we're not all the way to the beach, but we're on the water. We have a beach, and we in a phenomenal rooftop bar that has picturesque views of downtown St. Pete and downtown Tampa. That's the tallest waterfront rooftop bar in the market. So
it's gorgeous. We actually did. You were on my podcast before. And we did a live. We broadcast live from your rooftop bar.
Correct.
And it was really, really neat. But I have so many questions after what you said. But I want to bring Rick back in, because Rick, Stan mentioned that the Bucks do have a huge following, and a lot more people will be driving in to this game. What does that take from a fiber optic standpoint, like making roads safe and the signals and all that? Talk to us about that, about making the roadways safer, and then you can also parlay into the airports when we have so much activity.
Right. Well, I mean, that's all very true. I mean, the ultimately a lot of the stuff that we do, nobody pays attention to. They don't realize, but all the tolling, all the traffic counts, the traffic monitoring, the signage along the highways, the fast passes for the trucks hauling food, equipment, so on. All of those technologies, the cameras run on that network, that fiber network that's for the transportation department or for private carriers that we may be running in those right-of-ways. And first responders to be able to turn lights green so that they're not bound up and get the technologies are getting better every year. And for me, having been in it for a little while now, you start to see the capabilities of what we've been building for 30 years actually get used to their benefit. So the AVs, the future of automated vehicles and things along those lines, that's all. This is the foundation for all of that.
So let me ask you, and I'm sure Pat would have this question too as a broadcaster. Prior to an event like this and the Super Bowl, are you guys in meetings with FDOT and all the big agencies to prepare for something like this?
Well, it's not a last minute thing. So like I said, for us, this work gets planned out years in advance because of the magnitude of it. You don't just over a weekend, put a new exit off of 75 or the lowest street exit in Tampa. There's a new exit, off of 60 for the airport. Those things don't happen very quickly, and redoing the infrastructure or retying the infrastructure in during a construction project like that takes a lot of effort and time. So our meetings are way in advance. Obviously, if there's outages, we're typically one of the first responders for major things along those lines. But the event itself, aside from just a heightened sense of being able to be ready should something happen catastrophically out in the bigger network, we've done our work.
That's great. So he was saying, guys, that they have done their work and they have planned like well in advance for this. Pat, I know you must have some questions for Stan as well, and feel free to, and I will relay them to Rick. Stan, you talked about, though, that the players are not coming in until Friday. Clearly, the Buccaneers, they live here.
Right.
But in a normal Super Bowl situation, when did the players start coming in, at least a week in advance?
From
what I've covered.
What I remember, about a week, yeah.
Yeah, I think a week.
A week in advance. All right. So talk to us. You were talking to us. Can you give us some scoop? We do know that the players, I believe, are staying at the JW Marriott this year, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So that's like, we're just sharing some scoop here with you. But so tell us about your events. You said you have A-list celebrities. I mean, we have questions about your A-list celebrities. Like we want to know. And we also want to know, and I know Rick wants to know, is the public invited to these events? I mean, do we pay tickets? I mean, how many people can come? What are you guys doing?
Absolutely. We're a for-profit organization, and tickets are available. We're the hotel, we are actually hosting a pre-Super Bowl party on the Saturday night before Super Bowl, February 6th. Which I will mention as well as Jill's birthday, my lovely
his
wife.
wife. Okay.
It's good friends with Sarina.
Happy birthday,
as well.
Jill.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jill. Good job saying that it was your birthday.
Yeah.
Right?
I figured I would.
Yep.
So the hotel is going to host a party that night up at the rooftop bar is called Rocks. So up in Rocks, and we'll have a live DJ, and we had a great New Year's Eve party that sold out within like 2 days. So I feel that this is going to be a pretty successful party too. We are limited in occupancy. I think like 150 to 200 people because of you have to have a seat to have a cocktail and all that stuff. So tickets can be bought through the hotel. You can get the phone number or go through the website at thecurrenthotel.com. And then on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, yes, 50 Cent will be hosting a Super Bowl watch party that tickets can be bought at, I want to get this right, I think it's eventbrite.com. And
don't you love, this is why I
This
love
is
podcasts.
live TV.
And this is why I love it. Like, we can just look on our phones and we can check. No, but get it right.
Well, I was on the phone with our director of sales getting give me the highlights. So I got so you can buy the tickets at Eventbrite. So it's a party hosted by 50 Cent, and tickets range, I think, from $250 to $2,000.
Wow.
$250.
$250.
Right, $250. And I guess a pretty famous DJ is coming in, DJ Spin King out of New York.
Okay.
So I think it'll be a very successful party, and he's got some of his celebrity guests, buddies that are coming in that are staying with us as well. We'll I think Rocks will be banging this Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah, will be totally happening. Totally happening. Can you give us any scoop on other A-list celebrities coming in, or is that like off the record?
She's really on that, isn't she?
Well, because
Sarina's going to be this way.
Well, Lowell Beckner, who is the general manager here at CP Communications and Red House Streaming, I know that here's my next request that I'm going to ask him, Pat, because we love live, right? That why don't we have a call-in and for people to ask questions? And so I am just feeding the questions that I know people are asking.
That Sarina knows people are asking.
Right.
That she wouldn't ask.
That I would never ask, right? Oh, no, of course, like I don't want to know who that A-list celebrities are. I mean, is Bradley Cooper coming, for instance?
Not that I'm aware of. He hasn't contacted me or the hotel, as far as I know. But I'm usually the last to know. Right. He's checking under Pocahontas. There are some I don't want to say names, but yes, there are some A-list celebrities.
So Sarina, if you're there and you just kind of snake around,
then I can, maybe.
Yeah, as you well do. Yeah.
You buy a ticket to the party.
Lowell just said if I buy a ticket to the party.
You can come to the lobby bar, which is a nice. Everywhere has water views, so you got it's a very picturesque scene. So you can be in the lobby and hang out there and look for stars and all that stuff.
And that I have to say that is what is so much fun with Pat and I with our broadcast history. Like, I covered the Super Bowl many
We used
times
to
when I
stalk
lived in New
people,
Orleans.
is what you're
yeah,
saying.
yes. we
As
used to-
journalists, that's what we would do, is stalk people.
We used to stalk people. Rick, I want to bring you back in just really quickly because I know we talked about the roadways, but talk about airplanes as well. Like, like during this time, I know this is a different year and we don't have a different team coming in, but with fiber optics, you guys are really also monitoring the airports and the airways, right? Can you talk about like what goes into all of that?
Right. Well, for our company, I mean, we do hospitality, so we do the GPON fiber optic based networks for hospitality. We do
That's right.
when we say transportation markets, we touch on rail, we touch on airports, and we do like kind of a similar setup in the airport scenario. It's a kind of a campus environment, but it does touch air traffic controls and all the plane monitoring on the runways and then obviously all the communications in between. So it's very similar, just in a smaller, more condensed scale.
Well, okay, speaking of the entertainment venue, because that's what they do too. So for a concert from 50 Cent, is that right?
50
cents?
Fitty.
Like for concerts and like stuff like that to happen and go flawlessly at hotels, I mean, what does that take?
Well, that again, if it's a broadcast scenario, then it's going to look very much like what we're getting ready to deal with on the next Sunday. So, getting sound, audio, video. I mean, a lot of that now, all of it is supported on fiber optics. So, in a hotel environment for us, it's being part of that design team and putting the infrastructure together that scales and contracts to suit exactly what they have going on event-wise. So we are involved with some, fairly large hospitality venues and a lot of hotel rooms where, we build them for what they could possibly do over an event like this, but then it also is able to easily contract to, the day-to-day norm.
That's so exciting. So we're talking about like putting these events on. Now, Pat, sports always galvanizes a community, and people are just wonderful. I mean, and we see
Everybody
it.
comes
Yeah,
together.
everybody
Yeah.
comes together. We see it over and over. So Lowell, along with his team here, they're running the public service
Yes,
announcements
correct.
for OneBlood.
Yeah, I know.
So, and I know you have a background in
Yeah, the
broadcast.
reason, I know Sarina, of course, we were in broadcasting for years and years, but then Sarina joins us here at OneBlood. You're one of our multimedia journalists, and she tells these great stories
Thank you.
about,
Sweet.
because we have a television studio in Orlando. I mean, it sounds odd for a blood center, but my background was in media for a long time, and I kind of took that to an industry that is over the Southeast, and we tell stories. And Sarina does a great job of telling stories about it. So that's kind of, if you notice the opening, they had Donate Blood.
Yes.
That's one of the stories that she did for us, because in doing that, we have donors who give to people, to patients, hospitals. And so there's a big story about biologics and how people can help each other. And over the last 9 months with COVID-19, we've had to do a lot of industry leading in doing COVID-19 antibody testing and convalescent plasma, collecting into 250 hospitals. So it's been quite a year for us.
Absolutely, and the fact that they are running the public service announcements
Is big.
right? So this sports always galvanizes a community. So what would the message be, though, too? With we have a great organization in CP Communications and Red House Streaming that are running the PSA. So what would the message be? Is to
Coming together like that, the way sports brings people together, so does donating blood. Because it doesn't matter what your racial background or where you grew up or anything like that, we're all one blood, hence the name. Meaning that you could help someone who's no one near you or like you. So yes, sports is galvanizing. Donating blood is the same way, because the outreach to that can be universal, and certainly is a big message for us. So we really appreciate being here to talk about it.
So this clearly is nonprofit,
Right.
and not a profit organization.
But I do like it. It's a good hotel. Look, we have in Orlando, we have one called the Grand Bohemian downtown, but I think it's the same group, right?
Right,
Beautiful,
it's,
beautiful place.
Yeah. It's part of the Autograph collection, which is Marriott's boutique line, and it gives the developers, the owners, a lot of latitude with design and architectural interior design and all that stuff. So yeah, we're very glad to have Autograph as a partner and Marriott as a partner, but we were set on because we want to do something unique with
the one in Orlando in the lobby. It's a great place to go evenings to have wine. It's kind of a gathering place. They have artwork there, so that's kind of their what they do as a display is artwork in Orlando.
Tell them about your artwork, which is really neat. So speaking of artwork, if people come and visit the hotel, it's really, really neat.
Yeah, so we have a kind of in the gallery area, which is going into the ballroom. We have a rotating gallery that features local artists. So that rotates in and out. And right now we are featuring, the artist.
Do you need to get your salesperson on there? Or
Yeah,
salesperson
probably.
on the phone?
I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but then also throughout the hotel we have another big local artist, and his name is he's deceased unfortunately, but his name is Theo Wojcik, and he was famous for just huge pieces. So we have these two pieces that are behind the reception desk that are probably 10 feet tall and 8 feet wide. And so they take up an enormous amount of space, and they're spread out throughout the hotel too. So yeah, we were very cognizant of wanting to put some very unique art pieces in the hotel as well. I think it gives it, you're bringing in local artists, which is, we're third generation family here, so we wanted to promote local as much as possible. So give them a great platform.
And so Stan, also share, I know you've been on a podcast before, but share the name of the restaurant. It's very, very sweet, and share the story.
So my grandfather's name was Julian Lifsey, and so the restaurant in the lobby is named Julian. And yes, my grandfather was a real estate developer and also an attorney, but really used his legal license for contractual work in his real estate dealings. And he assembled the majority of Rocky Point back in the 1960s. And so we still have some family holdings that are there. But one of where the hotel is located was the first restaurant that was out there was called Crawdaddy's. And so there's still a couple other restaurants that are operating out there, Rusty Pelican and Whiskey Joe's. So yeah, we have a long family history with Rocky Point and obviously.
And we're talking about the Carolinas, right?
Sorry.
Where's Rocky Point?
Oh, sorry. It's just right outside of right outside the West Shore District.
Okay, got it.
Tampa.
Okay,
So right
got
on
it.
the water.
Right, got
Because
you.
Bat came in from Orlando, we so thank you for being here. All right, I know this is what I love about podcasts, because they're not, these stack shows that we're used to in newsrooms, and everything has to be like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and we have a wide variety of guests here. Clearly, 3 newsmakers among me. So before we end the show, I want to talk about, we'll bring back in Rick, because Rick, I want to just talk about you being a fan of the Bucks. So you were saying earlier, and Rick, I have to say, he's born on May 23rd. That's my little Sammy's birthday, so I feel a little special connection with him here. But okay, are you from here? Are you from Florida? You're a lifelong Bucks fan. Just share the excitement again, what you said at the beginning about the team.
Yeah, fifth generation Floridian, Tampa boy, born and raised. Still, I love the Rocky Point area, and I know I've been to many dinners and lunches at the Current, and also the Bohemian, because I live in Orlando now. But it's 5 generations of being in Florida, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. And yes, I've been to 2 Super Bowls in Tampa, and super excited for this one too, especially with the Bucks. So I can remember, just quickly tell you, I can remember I was real little, but people, wearing bags on their heads to go to the games as a joke because they were so bad. So it's super fun now to see them contending again. So thanks to the Glaciers for that.
It's awesome. Okay, so do you give Tom Brady credit for getting us to the Super Bowl? Come on, I want to hear it. Do you give Tom Brady credit?
That brings up a whole story. So we've got a guy that works with me that's been a huge Brady fan forever and Patriots fan, and so once this whole transaction went through, he has this little floating magnetic Patriots helmet in his office, and so I immediately ordered the replacement helmet from the Bucks, and then slipped it in there one night while I was gone, just to see how long it would take him to notice. He's actually he's rooting for the Bucks, so I had to ask him, is he going to go with is he going to follow Belichick, or is he going to follow Brady at the beginning of the season? And he followed Brady, and yeah, of course we give him a lot of credit. I mean, I think Bruce Arians done an amazing job too, though, so can't take anything away from that.
Well, that's why this show runs at noon in honor, number 12, of Tom Brady.
Yep.
So, okay, got to
Yep.
ask you guys the same thing that I asked Rick. Okay, do you love the Bucks? I mean, let's talk just talk about it in general.
Is that, what kind of question is that?
But
I live in Orlando, but still, you know,
Yeah.
the answer is, the whole thing, this is exciting. I mean, I'm in Orlando, but you can still feel the excitement of what's happening here building up to the Super Bowl.
So talk to me about that, Pat. So when they won and we knew that they were going, the excitement was felt in Orlando as well. It's like
absolutely.
statewide, right?
You know, and it's everything they're
Unless
doing.
you're a Dolphins fan.
Okay. We won't
Or
say
a
that.
Jaguars fan, I guess.
But it really is, and it's amazing that, the capacity of the crowd there is nothing compared to what Raymond James can normally hold. And what they're doing there is bringing in first responders. They're
know.
making the best of this Super Bowl in a big way. And the fact that it's the home stadium and having the Super Bowl here is just off the charts. But yeah, it's a very exciting time to be here in Tampa.
In
So,
Tampa. And I know.
And the Current, go to the Current.
Go to the Current. And I know financially, of course, because we don't have another team coming in. But Stan, will you be at the Super Bowl?
I don't have plans on attending. No.
No.
No, but yeah, it's super exciting. I was actually just at lunch downtown, and you could feel the energy and the buzz. It's starting to come in, even with the less amount of attendance that'll be not only at the game but around town. But like I said earlier, I mean, stuff's starting to pop up now. Where maybe like 2 weeks ago, and is it a circumstance that it is the Bucks potentially that are playing at home? I mean, who knows? But I know that they've added flights also. Southwest added flights from Kansas City to Tampa. So hopefully a lot of Chiefs fans come and enjoy the great weather. I mean, I think it's like 70 out today. There's no clouds. I mean,
Right.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, for all the people up north of snow right now.
Right.
Remember
It's
that.
beautiful because there's so much more. And I know we are going to have limited people in the stadium, of course, and everything. But there's so much more to the Super Bowl than just actually being able to go to the game. I mean, there typically are so many parties, so many events. And I know it is scaled down. But, we're all coming together. And do you credit Tom?
100%. I would say no. I mean, I think it's unbelievable what Tom Brady's able to do at age 43.
No kidding.
Under a new system, a new coach, a new team, everything. I mean, obviously there were some rough patches in the beginning, but I mean, he's such a great player and was able to, pivot and I mean, he didn't really need to turn anything around. He just let Tom Brady be Tom Brady, and here we are in the Super Bowl at home. But I mean, I think great job to Bruce Arians as well as the head coach. Giving Tom Brady a lot of latitude, I think, on the field, coaching wise. I mean, the guy's got a great football IQ, I guess is what they say, and he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT for a reason.
When most people are thinking about retiring, he's in his prime.
I know.
You know,
I know.
no question.
I know.
The question is, do we bring him back after
Yeah,
next year?
That's right. That
Yeah,
is
I
the
think-
big question.
Right, that is the big question. I guess we just get through, and I say get through, we just enjoy
Yes.
the road to the big game.
Yeah, live in that
and then
moment.
live in this moment, and then we'll talk about that moment later. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Rick Arnold's also coming in from Orlando and Precision Contracting Services. Pat,
Me from Orlando.
Michael's
Rick,
actually
Rick and me.
driving in from Orlando.
Yeah, I didn't fiber myself in.
For him joining us. And Stan, Stan the man, as I like to call him, it's always such a pleasure.
Oh, thank you for inviting me and
Yes,
being part of this.
absolutely.
Very cool.
So and again, support the Current,
Yes.
right? Please donate
Beautiful
blood.
place. Yeah,
Yes.
beautiful place.
Profit, nonprofit, please also
Give
donate
blood, too.
Yes,
Yep.
please. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Stan. There you go. All right. All
Wearing
right.
red.
And yes, I wore red. So I don't have a teleprompter Lowell, I'd like you to work on that as well.
This high-tech teleprompter right here, see that?
But look at the big print. This is like the big print, I need. Oh, yeah, thank you. Okay, all right. So we have the glasses. This is what I love about, so I really should be reading this close, but I should be able
Or
to memorize
outro,
it, right?
if you
yeah,
wanna call
my
it.
outro. And that brings us a little closer to the game. I want to read it because Audra Butler, who's my executive producer, who
It's
you'll see in the
beautiful.
credits.
It's poetry.
Oh my gosh, she's the best writer ever. But anyway, no, in all sincerity, we're all so excited, galvanizing a community again. We're making history, and I cannot thank you gentlemen enough
Thank you.
for joining us for this very special On the Record podcast. Have a great day, everyone. Stay safe, and as Audra wrote into my script, be super. Is that cheesy?
No, not at all.
Thanks for watching.
O negative blood is the universal blood donor. It goes to trauma victims, it goes to newborn babies, and everybody else. Blood is always needed. You always need it no matter what. And I just know that I'm helping at least 3 people with 1 unit of blood, that I'm able to save lives. I'm universal. I'm unique. I'm O negative. Are you?